Hey y'all, welcome back to The Simple Cozy Haven. I'm super excited to share with you these DIY vintage old world inspired ornaments today. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Alright, so all you're going to need for this DIY is these clear, or you could even upcycle some ornaments you have already, but just some ornament balls. I just went ahead and got these from Michael's and they were probably like $1 something with their 40% off. I've got paper plates, some brushes, this ribbon I like that ties into my tree, and some Rub and Buff paint and baking soda. So we're going to start with removing the tops of the ornaments, and we will be rub and buffing those later, or you could spray paint if that's something you'd rather do. I just had Rub and Buff and wanted to do this project inside today, so that's the method I went with. But I'm just mixing up some paint. You can do truly whatever color you want. That's the beauty of DIY ornaments, is that you can customize it to match any tree. So whatever paint you want to do, go ahead and mix that up, and then we're going to coat the ornament in a light layer of paint. And this is just to give something for our next layer to grip onto. So it's okay if it's streaky and splotchy. All will be well. We will fix that in the next step. And after this step, I let both of my ornaments dry for about 10 to 15 minutes. And I went ahead and added a little bit more of the dark brown to my ornament paint because I just thought it was a little bit too light, especially if I'm going to add baking soda later on. But I just mixed up a little bit more paint, and then I went in and added probably about 2 tablespoons of baking soda. It's really just to your preference if you'd rather have a more textured ornament or not. I like textures, so you know, the more the better for me. And just go ahead and slap that paint and baking soda mixture on. There's no rhyme or reason. If you want it to be fairly smooth, try to keep it all in like one direction. Otherwise, I think the added bumpiness will kind of add to that old world vintage look. So truly do whatever your preference is. This is just what I went with. And now I'm just going to give my ornament a good layer of baking soda on the wet paint. So don't let anything dry between this step. Go straight from the baking soda paint to the layer of baking soda. And I found that doing this over a bowl was the least messy, but it is still super messy. There will be baking soda everywhere, but that's just part of the creativity process. And you don't have to coat your entire ornament if you don't want to. I think having some plain paint stick through the baking soda layer looks really cool. So do whatever you think, experiment, have fun, and just do whatever you think would look best for your home. So after letting the baking soda layer dry for about 15 minutes, I came in with a dry paintbrush and kind of just brushed off very gently this layer of excess baking soda. And this is just kind of like the initial layer. You will come back later once everything is dry, so probably in about a couple hours time, come back and really brush all the baking soda off. But this will just kind of help it go a little bit faster, I think. Okay, and now here I am a few hours later coming in and really brushing the leftover baking soda off. This will give it that really soft kind of old look. So gently just brush that off and it will come off much easier than it did last time. And now for the fun part, we are going to be adding some rub and buff to a gloved hand. Do not do this with your fingers. I don't think that's very healthy. But I am just putting some rub and buff in between my thumb and then my first two fingers, and I'm going to gently mix that in, and then I'm going to kind of rub it all around the ornament. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just trying to get a nice good layer, and I will have to add a little bit more rub and buff to my hand to get the look I want, but I'm just trying to make sure I don't get any on my skin, and then I'm also getting as much of the product off of the gloves as possible, so that's more product on the ornament. And I just love this little gilded look. I don't know what it is, but I am literally obsessed with these and the way they look now. Then I just used some rub and buff and also put that onto the ornament toppers. This just gave it a nice look, and I found that it took me a few coats to get the look I wanted, but just keep working it in and kind of tapping it in, not necessarily rubbing it in. That worked the best, I think, because this is a super shiny material. It didn't want to stick, so put a little bit on, let it dry, and then come back in with a second coat. I found this really pretty blue velvet ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and I cut pieces about 7 inches long to use as the hangers for the ornament. I put the ornament topper back on, and then I just laced the ribbon through the top part. And then I just use a hot glue gun to connect the two pieces of ribbon together. And after that, your ornaments are complete. Again, you can do whatever color you want to do, add in whatever ribbon or string or anything, and just make it exactly what you want. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and feel inspired to make your own beautiful Christmas ornaments this year. If you do, be sure to tag me over on Instagram at The Simple Cozy Haven because I would love to see it. Leave me a comment below on your thoughts about today's video, and I will talk to you guys later this week. Have a good one. Bye.